All right, and once the user model is in place, now let's hop over to controllers, more specifically register controller, and let's do initial setup. And let me tell you right from the get-go that yes, a lot of things will change, but I want to make those changes together and step by step, so that way we all are on the same page. And first, what I want you to do is import user model, then temporarily set up try and catch. And in the try block, try to create the user using user.create, pass in the rec.body. That's where the values are going to be located. And then if it's success, then send back 201 with JSON response and user in it. Again, this is going to be temporary. I know we're not hashing passwords at the moment and all that. And then if there is an error, let's just go with something generic, 500, and then the message, there was an error. So let's hop over there. We're looking for the auth controller, and I probably should add that here. So let me go here and I'll say auth controller. So let's save that one, and then back in the auth controller, we have the register. And the first thing we want is to import user. So I'm looking for my user. It's going to be coming from, and then we're looking in the models, correct? And then more specifically, I'm looking for the user one. So once I have this one in place, since we'll try to implement some asynchronous functions in the register, what we want to do is set up right away try and catch. And in the try block, we'll try to create the user. So we're going to go with user and await and user.create. And then in here, let's pass in the rec.body. Because again, that's where all the values are going to be located. And remember that in the server.js, we already have express.json. Very, very important detail. And then if we're successful, again, for time being, just for time being, we're going to go with status. And then that one will be equal to 201. And then I want to send back my user. So JSON and then the user. Now, if there is an error, let's quickly copy and paste. And we're going to go here with 500. And then instead of the user, let's just go with generic message. And we're going to go with there was an error. And once we have this in place, now I want to hop over to my Postman and create that request. So let's go here. We're looking for auth. We want to go with register user. And a side note, here for the login, I'll also write user, like so. And then in the register, we want to go with body. Now that will be what? That will be raw. And we're going to go with JSON. And effectively, what are we looking for here? Well, what are the properties that are required in the user? It is name, it is email, as well as the password. Last name and location have default values, so those ones will just send back. So let's go here, and I'm going to go with name. I'm going to set it equal to John. Then as far as the password, I'm going to go with secret, my famous secret here. So secret. And then when it comes to email, let's just set it up as, I don't know, whatever you want. In my case, I'm going to go with john@gmail.com. So john@gmail.com. Let's send this and let's see what is going to be a response. And at the moment, I don't see anything. So let's see. We crashed, something didn't happen, cannot find the module users. And I think I know what's happening here. Yep. Of course, I forgot to add JS. So this is one of those things when you're working with ES6 modules, make sure that you add the extension. Otherwise, you can clearly see what is going to be the error. So let's try one more time. I'm going to go with my request. I send it, and yep, I have my user. Everything is awesome. And then if I take a look at the MongoDB, I should also see my database, basically a Jobify one. And then I have users collection with my John user. Now, if I'm going to try to submit this without providing one of the values that is required, we should get back the 500 error, correct? So let's say if I were to remove the email here and try to submit, we should get back 500. And if that is the case, which it is, notice here I have message, there was an error, then we're in good shape. So our initial functionality works. If we provide all the values, then we nicely create the user. However, if one of the values is missing, and I'm not going to test with each and every value, that's just going to be too time consuming. You saw how it worked with, I believe it was email. Then we get back this error. And once we have the initial functionality in place, now we can move on to the next step.